What's going on, everybody? Me and Joe back here. We actually did a lot this week for what we've normally been doing.
This is hopefully what we're going. This is hopefully the new norm, like maybe like three per week. That seems fair, right? Especially with
Yeah.
sports starting up.
Or I mean, like too, as breaking news comes and like we want to talk about it, we might just get on here, even if it's like a 10, 20 minute video, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Something to pique our interest a little bit. With that being said,
Of
um,
course, you saw the title of the video.
I'm sure. Oh yeah, that's true. I'm sure everybody has heard.
It's like, yeah, no, well, what's this gonna be?
I'm sure everybody has heard by now that DeAndre Ayton is a Portland Trailblazer. Uh,
Wow.
this is
And I'm sure you guys are very interested what these two assholes think about that.
this is crucial. This is like for years to come
Are we
affecting.
talking about Grayson Allen though? Are we talking about Grayson and who else did they move during that?
They moved
Oh,
Yurkic,
the
Keon Johnson,
the
and those
There's
picks.
that other. I don't even. You said all the relevant guys already, so
But
no need
so
to.
okay, all right. So basically, I guess what we're gonna do here is we're kind of gonna give you a little bit of the rundown of just how we feel about the trade, and
Mhm.
who we think won it, who maybe didn't win it. For just to give like a small inkling, I think every single team involved in this trade benefited a
I
lot.
agree. I agree.
And I think it was for three different reasons, right? So I'll just take this stand here right away. Obviously with the Bucks, I do think that Dame and Giannis is going to fit very well. Giannis, Giannis's greatest strength is when he puts the ball down to the floor and he just goes and he drives, right? Now, recently, what's been happening with that is teams are seeing that, and the Bucks didn't always have the greatest shooting. So you have the defense collapsing in on Giannis, making more people in the paint guarding him. Now he has Damian Lillard, one of the greatest shooters ever, sitting there in the corner. So the whole defense can't come down in on him. So he can just kick that shit out for a jumper if they do. And if not, Giannis can just take it to the hoop and just dunk on whoever. I mean, it's really that simple of an offense that they can run. Um, so in that sense, I think the Bucks won the trade. I think the Suns added more depth. Nothing crazy, but I think enough with who they have. Um, and I think the Blazers are the best set up team for the future. They have a good center.
Really?
Yeah, they have a good center. They just drafted what's his name? I think he was the number 2 pick. He's gonna have a really good career. They have draft picks for, I mean, God knows how long. I just think if they play it right, they're in a better position than they were with Dame, because with Dame, they were never going to win a championship. So now it's like, okay, now we have a chance to rebuild and we have a chance to work around this very good core young group. And we have a good center. We have a lot of draft picks. Oh, and by the way, they got Drew Holiday, who everyone is reporting they're going to end up trading for. And every single contender in the NBA wants Drew Holiday. So they're going to get something great in return from that, whether it's another good young player or draft picks. So I think this was the best case scenario for every team involved. That's what I think.
What was I gonna say? How do you know how many years Lillard has left on his contract?
He just signed a big contract extension. So I think he's got like probably 3 to 4.
I would say, I don't know how you feel about this. I would say arguably the biggest win of this trade wasn't the Bucks getting Lillard, but it was the Bucks getting Lillard because that's going to make Giannis resign. I
Oh,
honestly think the biggest win of this trade is someone that wasn't even involved, which is Giannis. Now he has incentive to re-sign with Milwaukee. And of course, their defense got worse. We're going to drop a 50 piece on them. Celtics, let's go. But I think that it's worth it in the end if Giannis was actually considering leaving Milwaukee, which reports sound like he was actually considering it. I don't think he's going to now.
Now, and not to mention, Joe, because you're right, it does make their defense a little bit worse. However, Giannis is going to be able to focus on playing his defense now more, and he has two. I'm pretty. Don't quote me on this. I know he has at least one defensive player of the year, but I'm pretty sure he might have two defensive player of the years.
Really, I did not
Yeah.
know that.
Well, that's because you started watching very recently, and Giannis.
Yeah, that should be said. By the way, this guy knows what he's talking about. Did you hear him talking about defenses collapsing and bullshit? I don't know what that even means.
Well, yeah.
And so
Well, so
I'm all hockey over here, but I'm trying to help him out here.
So the last couple of years, Giannis has had to exert so much more energy on offense, and his defense has suffered because of that. So now a lot of people think that because of this Damian Lillard thing, with him being able to help more on offense, in return, Giannis is going to become a beast defensively again. So it might outweigh them losing a lot of defense, but regardless, you're still right. I mean, they still definitely lost some defensive skill, but you're 100% right. I mean, Giannis said a few weeks ago, like, that he was like, I don't know if I'm resigning, like, and
Right.
this, I mean, the Bucks did a hell of a job. And this is also, I will say this too, and I don't know how it works in the NHL, but the small market teams in the NBA never get that big free agent. It always comes from like a Giannis is like, he was homegrown. He was drafted in Milwaukee, these free agents, they go to LA, they go to all the teams that have like the big markets, big cities, big towns. So this is huge that a free agent, well, he wasn't a free agent, I guess, but regardless, this is huge that Lillard decided to go to Milwaukee, whether he wanted to or not. That opens up, now you're going to see so many small market teams getting more of these incredible players, which is a win to me, because I'm sick of seeing everyone try to go to the Lakers. It's like, you know what I mean? So I do think that this is a great thing for just the NBA in general.
I mean, you don't think that's been done in the NBA though? You had friggin' I mean, look at the Thunder. The Thunder, I don't see them as a big market. Look at the Suns. Kevin Durant went to the Suns.
But this is the thing, right? The Thunder drafted Durant, Westbrook, and Harden.
They all got drafted by the Thunder. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me stay corrected for a second and just say, okay, what about KD to the Suns? I feel like wouldn't that have sparked it then?
You could say that, but with the way that trade affected so much else, with how much they literally gave up, that kind of outweighs it a little bit. You can make that argument, but I still feel like Phoenix is a much, much higher market than Milwaukee. Like, I still put Phoenix in at, like, they're not at that level of like the LAs and stuff, but it's still Phoenix. It's still nice. You're talking about Milwaukee. You know what I mean? I'm just saying personally, I feel like it's a much, much smaller market team.
Yeah, but they won a championship like 3 years ago. Sure, it's a small market team, but you gotta imagine that, like, as of right now, it's not an irrelevant team.
No, it's not. It's not at all. But regardless, I'm telling you, man, that still doesn't happen like that. It really doesn't.
Okay.
And the Blazers, apparently, because Damian Lillard actually dropped a new song, because I don't know if you know, he makes music. And he he's actually a pretty good rapper, but he dropped a song and he kind of alluded in it that that the Blazers were forcing him to leave because they wanted to rebuild. So this whole time, everybody's been looking at Dame like, wow, like you're like, you were claiming you wanted to be loyal, then all of a sudden you're forcing a trade. But it turns out that it would seem like it was the other way around. Like, the Blazers were kind of like, hey, look, man, like, we have you on this contract for so much money. We're not gonna win a championship with you here. So we just got this possible star as the number 2 pick in the making. We gotta just break this shit down. So that's a very interesting aspect too, if that is the truth.
I feel like you said to me, you were like, it's so obvious who the winner of this trade is. I feel like I feel like it's Milwaukee, but I feel like it isn't obvious, and it could age better for the Trailblazers.
No,
honestly, I mean,
that's what I said on here. I was wrong the other day when I said that to you because I was just looking at it from a standpoint. I didn't realize that once I saw that the Trailblazers were gonna start moving Drew Holiday around, I was like, okay, wow, they're really about to go full in on this rebranding, and they have the pieces. They have all of the pieces. Now, is their front office gonna make the best decision? I don't know. They picked Dame. Dame wasn't the earliest pick, I don't think. Like that was a good pick, but they weren't able to make any moves with Dame there. So that kind of makes me think like, I don't know if they're gonna, but they had the possibility to be the winner out of this for sure. I mean, obviously, from a short-term standpoint, you have the Bucks, obviously. I mean, I guess the Suns too, but there's a lot of
I think the Trailblazers are more winners than the Suns. I think because look at the alternative. The fact that they were actually able to pawn him off to somewhere that wasn't the Heat and get what they wanted because they wanted Bam. If they traded him to the Heat and they didn't get Bam in return, that's a loss for the Trailblazers because they didn't get what they wanted. They
yeah.
wanted Bam. I mean, I'm sorry, they wanted Drew Holiday from the Bucks. They got him, and Lillard accepted the trade. I think that alone puts them pretty close to Milwaukee in terms of because you got to think about it. Even if they didn't trade him to the Heat, was he going to play for them? He was saying he
Right.
wasn't going to play for them. So
But
not
but
only did they get what they wanted, but he got what he wanted. I think the Trailblazers came out really good in this.
I agree with you. I just think that it's one of those situations where like time is gonna tell. I have to see what they
Yeah,
do with this. And of course, I know that's the same thing with everybody else too, by the way. But my point with that is I have to see what moves they make with trading Drew Holiday. I have to see what moves they make with the draft picks. I have to see what they get in return. Because if they just waste those on bullshit, then it's like, you know what I mean? But they have the potential. They have the potential to come out as the number one winners in this eventually. They do.
yeah, exactly.
They do
Yeah,
have the
exactly.
potential. I just have to see a couple of the moves be made. I'm not saying I gotta wait 10 years, but I gotta see what like I think who they trade for with Drew Holiday is gonna be very telling to see for sure.
If the Bucks, if I think if the Bucks don't win a championship in the next 4 years, which is a long time, but if they don't, then Portland wins this
I
because
think if they
Portland's
don't win,
building for they're building for the future. They got a first round pick. They got the second overall. They got whatever they're gonna get for Drew Holiday, and even if they don't pawn him off, they got a great defensive player. They got what you say like 3 more years left of Lillard,
yeah,
which obviously is a lot. They just got the guy, but I'm just
yeah.
saying if they don't win a championship with Giannis and Lillard, I think Trailblazers came out on
I
top of
think
this.
I'll tell you what, I think if they don't win it within the next 2 years.
Okay. Well, what if they win at year 3 with Lillard and Giannis? That means
Well, that's my thing though. I don't think at that point they will. I think their window
hmm,
is this year and next year. I mean, I think Dame is 34, 35. Um, I think he's got like 2 great years left of him. Not to say he'll be bad after,
right,
but like if they don't get it done within these next 2 years, I would be very, very shocked if they were gonna get it done. You know,
right.
but I
Um,
want to talk about, and again, I mean, whatever, you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but there's a lot of other losers in this scenario that have nothing to do with the trade. I mean, first off, the Heat. I mean,
yeah,
man, that's gotta hurt. Thinking that you
yeah, dude.
like
It probably hurts more for a Heat, dude. What was Jimmy Butler saying? He
yeah, he
was
said,
like,
well, for
what he said,
tampering. Yeah, for tampering.
So what was he exactly saying?
He was saying that the Bucks did something that is outside of the rule book to get to persuade because you're not allowed to like bribe. It's basically like somehow doing
Um,
something to bribe. So Jimmy Butler is saying that something behind the scenes happened where they bribed him or something. I don't know what that entails, but I think he was just being
I'm surprised.
salty.
I'm
Um,
surprised it's not popping up in more places though, with how big like conspiracies are these
well,
days.
you know what's gonna happen? Well, because tampering happens, but it's like but like it literally is as simple as like Giannis and Damian Lillard, if we find out that last year at the All-Star game, like they had a conversation about teaming up, that would count for tampering. So it's
Oh wow.
like in my opinion, like that's stupid. Like you shouldn't get fined for that. Like in my opinion,
Yeah.
like it's not like I'm gonna wire you fucking $6 million. Like it's not like that. But that's how it
Like
sounds, right? Like
and at the
that
end
is
of the
how it
day, you're
sounds.
just doing that because you're salty, bro. Like what's it gonna do? What's that gonna change, Jimmy Butler? What is he gonna go to the Heat now? No,
That's
he's
what I'm
not.
saying. And not to mention, I think Dame's in a better situation with the Bucks than he would have been with the Heat because you would have
And
lost a
my
lot of
question is,
pieces.
my question for you is, what is this? Does this give a lot of confidence to Bam Adebayo that they were so like they really didn't want to give up this man? Like they were like, we will like give you Lillard, but we want Bam, and it's just like absolutely not. I feel like Bam has got to be feeling kind of good about himself after that.
For sure. But at the end of the day, like if I'm a Heat fan, it's like we've already seen our peak with this team. And hey, hey, by the way, I mean, I don't think the Celtics are in the same boat because I think we have a lot more potential. But hey, your peak, if it's going to the finals, great. But they're
Right.
never going to win a finals with this Heat team. They can make the finals, but that's their ceiling is not, they can't win a championship. Jimmy Butler cannot lead them to a championship against any of the top teams in the West. He just can't do it. So like you're right, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, so then what? Like they make it to another finals next year and lose to the Nuggets or the Clippers or the Lakers. You know, it's like, I don't know. But I also think too, this could potentially suck for two other teams. One would be the Celtics, of course.
Right.
And then two would be the Denver Nuggets because there's no other center in the league that could stop Jokic besides Giannis.
Mm.
So, and I hate the idea of even entertaining the Celtics not being in the finals next year. But man, if we got a Giannis versus Jokic finals next year, that would be insane. Because that's literally the pretty much like you could argue some of the top two players. I would throw Curry in there, but you could argue the top two players right now, definitely the top two centers. Um, Man, I'm just thinking about now that would be crazy. But I think when it comes to the Celtics, I actually now I'm double happy that we got Porzingis.
Yeah, because now we can put up with their offense.
Yeah, that and plus we have size. We have more size than we did last year. And
Okay.
we need that because by the end of the day, as much as I can't freaking stand Brook Lopez, he's just always there. He's like guy's like 50 years old, but he's just always there. He's so tall. And then you got Giannis there too. Hopefully we have a healthy Rob Williams. And then you got KP there. I mean, I don't know. I think again, I'm nervous in a sense just because like we're gonna look completely different than we have looked for the last couple of years. And the
Right.
thing is, we're either gonna look worse or we're gonna get over the hump. I don't think we're gonna look the same. So that's kind of scary. But again, we had to take that risk. Um, I personally like I was like I thought this was gonna be the potentially easiest year for us since like in a while because I was looking at it like, okay, like 76ers, nobody even knows what's going on with them. Like the Nets are
Yeah.
finished. I was like the
They don't
Bucks,
even know what's going on with them.
yeah, I was like the Bucks are finished. I was like the Heat. I watched us. We had a bad week against the Heat. I watched us almost literally just basically sweep them, coming back down 3-0.
Exactly, dude. It was so but that last game he played so horrible, dude. It
Yeah,
pissed me off. That Derek White three doesn't even or not it wasn't even a three, but his bucket doesn't even count anymore, man.
yeah, no, but my point is
Oh, it
like I
sucks.
thought going into this year, I was like, man, like we had the clearest path to the finals we've had in a long time. And now we don't.
That was just bullshit.
But hey, last year I remember we were all saying the playoffs doesn't start till the Eastern Conference Finals with the Bucks Celtics and the Bucks lost in the first round. Obviously, I don't think it's gonna happen again this year. I'm just saying though,
Yeah.
we still got to
Friggin'
see.
Heat.
Yeah, we still got to see what happens. But
What what do you think it would take to get Drew Holiday on the Celtics? Because I know I've seen a few
well, I
reports
just
saying he's gonna come here.
it's just what's so funny. I just read a report that apparently Brad Stevens said that that's not happening. I thought it
Oh
was going to
damn.
happen because I thought it was going to take Pritchard, Brogdon, and like a draft pick or two, which I would have been okay with. But
Hmm.
apparently the Blazers want to include Robert Williams in that, and Brad Stevens
Huh.
isn't having it. which I'm like, thank God.
Absolutely not. It's just,
Yeah, no, no,
I take
that's what I'm
Bravo any
saying.
day.
Now, if we were able to get Drew Holiday and have to get rid of Brogdon and Pritchard, like whatever,
Yeah.
like I could deal with that. Brogdon already
I
basically,
cannot believe those two are still here. I
you know,
cannot believe Roger
that
and Pritchard are still here.
that's why, like, and I love those guys. If they are on the team, great, I love them. But I was looking at it as like I had kind of already accepted that they were leaving, so like I would
Yeah.
have been completely fine with Drew Holiday coming in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But and especially too because we kind of need a point guard. Um, but I don't know, man. I'm so excited for the season just from like just looking at it. But then like as a Celtic fan, I'm excited too, but I'm just nervous. Like I gotta see it, you know. I just have to see it. Oh man. Yeah.
One thing we haven't touched on at all, I think we should do briefly, is how do you think the Suns came out on this? They definitely needed to clear cap, so they win there. I feel like Aiton was the odd man out of the people that were getting paid the highest. But
And
obviously, I'm
also,
not too bright on the positions and stuff like that. It seems like they got some decent bench players, even though their bench
yeah,
was empty before this.
yeah. So they the Suns also too, like I don't know if you remember, but they literally, like you said, the big thing is it cleared a lot of money off their books, right? But
Mhm.
the Suns, they were having issues with DeAndre Ayton towards the end of the season in the playoffs. Like him and the coach were going at it. Things were, it was just like a nuisance and all that. So I think
Yeah.
like they added a little bit more depth. I actually think Grayson Allen is really going to help them out a lot. Um,
So he's a physical guy, right? I
yeah,
hear like people don't like him.
but he was also able to shoot at one point. And people think that he can't still shoot. It's just he had to change
Mhm.
up his style of play. Now he's going to be around a lot of superstars, so people aren't going to be paying him much mind. He's going to be open a lot more. So that again, same thing with Giannis. Like I
All right.
said, closes the gap. Like that opens up a lot of room. I think the Suns definitely got better from it. The question is, how much better? Again, it's one of those teams that's like you throw a bunch of superstars in there. Like I just gotta see. Like I gotta see how they look without Chris Paul. You know? Like
Yeah.
and
Dude, you know what I saw is Booker is the only member left from the 21 team. The
yeah,
only one from 2 years ago.
yeah.
What the hell? Like and they made it wasn't like it was a bad it wasn't like they needed to break up the squad. They literally made the friggin' finals and they were just like, no, no, we need to change some shit. I mean, that's either stupid or it's ballsy or it's both.
Well, that's why I was never getting mad all the years that we were getting close. Like when we got to the Eastern Conference, I'm speaking about the Celtics, by the way. When we got to the Eastern Conference Finals, or when we did get to the finals, and everyone was like, "We got to break up one of the Jays to get over the hump," and I'm just like, "Wait, just like hold on." Like we see all the time, like these teams get close to winning, and it doesn't happen, and they think we got to go we got to go all in, we got to go all in, and it's like, no,
Yeah.
like get your players better, get the chemistry up. You guys, if everybody comes into the season improving more and you have that chemistry, you'll have a better chance versus than if you just go out and get a bunch of random stars. We see so many times that that doesn't work anymore, you know. But it might work for the
Dude,
Suns this year. It might, depending on some things. But that
the
West,
Mavericks,
that West is
the
scary.
the Mavericks destroyed this franchise.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of the Mavericks, I do
Fun
think the Mavericks are going to be good. The
fun fact.
what?
Fun fact for anyone watching. Me and Mike, the day of Game 7, Suns and Mavericks, went to like we were driving on like the beach or something, and we were like heading to Applebee's after, and we got to Applebee's during like the it had to be either the end of the first or the beginning of the
End of the
second
first.
quarter. And we looked up and we were like, is is the score wrong? And the guy at the bar was like, nope.
Yeah, man. And I
We're
was so
so
excited.
sad.
I was so excited for that game too. I thought it was going to be such a good game. Because that was to get into the Western Conference Finals, the winner would be playing
Lakers, right?
against the
Wait, who
Warriors.
are they playing? Oh, the War. That's right. That was the other we did good as well.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That man. But I'll tell you what though. Off the top of my head, right? I'm just gonna start naming
Yeah.
teams. This is the Western Conference, right? And this is in no order, but all of these teams have a legitimate chance at winning a championship this year in the Western Conference. The Nuggets, the Suns, the Lakers, the Clippers. Give me a second. The
Mavericks.
Kings,
Oh, the Kings. Yeah.
the Mavericks. I know people are gonna think I'm crazy for that one, but I think I still Kyrie and Luka at the end of the day. I still think that they get a full season under their belt. So we're at 6. And if you want to throw the Warriors in there still, 7.
Did you say the Lakers?
Yeah.
You'd throw the Lakers in before the Warriors?
Oh, absolutely. They got to the Western Conference Finals last year. And this is a
True.
thing, this is the thing you gotta realize too. The Lakers didn't get that team until after March, in like March. So they only had
Oh,
like a
right. I
month or two
forgot
to,
about how good they were after March.
yeah,
Yeah.
they sucked before that. They were in like 12th place. That team brought them all the way up to like a very high, I mean, not a high seed, but and then they ended up beating the Grizzlies and stuff. They got more chemistry under their belt. Now, the question, of course, remains is AD going to stay healthy? And LeBron is going into year 21. But the reports have been coming out.
Past my player.
The reports have been coming out that LeBron's been training like a rookie this year. But yeah, I think the Lakers have the potential to be like to go to the finals.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man, is ever since I started watching, everyone's been saying the Clippers are like potentially finals bound. I mean, I just need to see it. I need to see them stay healthy.
Well,
I
that's
will
the
not
problem.
tolerate any of this championship Clippers talk unless I can see Kawhi and Paul George stay healthy.
Let me tell you
Can't
something.
do it.
If Kawhi and Paul George had stayed healthy, they'd have at least 2 rings in LA right now.
You think they'd have 2 rings?
100%. They went to the Western Conference Finals in 2021 with Paul George without Kawhi. And then this past year, Kawhi, people forget what Kawhi was before Kawhi got hurt. He was dominating Kevin Durant. All you people out there, go back and watch those first few games. Kawhi Leonard was having his way with Durant, man. The Clippers would have, I'm telling you, the Clippers would have won the championship this year and in 2021. 100%.
I mean, like I said, I just need to. It sucks, man. It's the worst part of sports. It's why like you don't take someone in fantasy, or it's why you bet against a team. It's injuries. It sucks.
Dude, I'm telling you, Kawhi Leonard it is so unfortunate. Kawhi Leonard, man, in his now I gotta look this up real quick. I don't know if it was his second or third year. It was I know his second year he went to the finals and played against LeBron and they lost. Then the next year he went to the finals, played against LeBron, he won, and he won finals MVP that year. He won finals MVP in his third year.
What year is he in now? He's under like 10?
He has got 11 years under his belt. You would think he's so much older because he gets hurt all the time. But it's one of the like look, he has 2 rings and 2 finals MVP. So like obviously like he's had a great career. But man, if he never got hurt, dude, the NBA would be a lot different.
Wait, who did he win a ring with that wasn't the Raptors?
The Spurs in 2014 when they beat the Heat.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the Heat beat them in 2013 and then they rematched in 2014 and they won. And Kawhi Leonard won finals MVP because he only held LeBron to like 30 something points a game in a triple double. But yeah. Regardless though. But,
Well, yeah, no. Either way, I still don't look if Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are fully healthy going into I would say the Western Conference Finals is what I'm going to start because I'm pretty sure they were both healthy heading into the second round in 21, right? And then that's when Kawhi got hurt.
Yeah, Kawhi got hurt, and they still made the Western Conference Finals, and then lost.
Who was that against?
They lost to the Suns. That was when the Suns got to the finals that year.
No, but who did they beat in the second round?
They beat the Mavericks. They beat Luka.
Okay, so it was just basically Paul George versus Luka.
Yeah, basically. Well, no, the Mavericks had a good team. I mean, you got to think that next year they went to the Western Conference Finals when they
Right.
lost to
And
the
then this, I
Warriors.
can't believe they didn't even get past the play in this year, dude.
I
What the
know.
hell happened? I'll tell you what happened. Mr. Locker Room Cancer
Yeah. Well,
rubbed his
I'm root-
shoe all
I'm
over the Mavericks.
I'm rooting for Kyrie these days, man. I am. I feel
The
like
only Celtics fan ever.
I feel like we all went a little. I mean, it was a good rivalry, but I just feel like at this point, like I feel like
Boston
sometimes,
sports fans went a little too far. No, wow,
well, not
no.
even just taking Boston out of it. I feel like there's certain rivalries that should live on forever, and then there's also certain rivalries that should die out at some point, and you should have like a respect at some point. Like, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, other than him like wiping his shoe on the Celtics logo, I don't think he's done individually as much to us as he has the other teams. It seems like every team he goes to, he's like, "I'm never gonna leave," and then leaves. And Celtics fans seem to take it to heart way more than any other.
yeah. And my thing is
For
like,
me, but like I said, for me, it was him rubbing his foot on the logo. It was like, all right, that's just disrespectful.
no,
It was
I
like,
get it. I get it. And it was, but it's like, bro, it's been 3 years. Like, I'm not gonna still hold a grudge over that, man. You know, like in that
yeah.
moment, yeah, but it's like, come on, dog. Like, dude, like, cause somebody stomped on someone, like, it's like, come on, man. But
It's like Juju doing TikTok dances on teams' logos. So
yeah,
so stupid. The 21st century, man.
but I mean, yeah, I am excited because I will say, as much as I am like, I don't want anyone to win besides the Celtics, bro. If somebody had to put a gun in my head, like, and ask me, like, the Celtics aren't in the league this year, I want to see a full, healthy Paul George and Kawhi Leonard throughout the postseason. And I just want people to see, because I understand where you're coming from. Like, you have no reason to believe that they
Mm,
should win the finals. You don't, like, you don't.
yeah.
I know, like, I've watched those guys, man, and oh man, I know it's like one of those things where it's like, oh, it's all hypothetical, you can't speculate. It's like, I know, but I've seen Kawhi do it when he's healthy. Like, when he's healthy, he does it. He wins when he's healthy.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, hey, absolutely. I mean, even if they don't even win in the finals, right? You just want them to make the finals. You just want to see
yeah,
them in the finals.
it's just
Not necessarily
it's
they need. So
frustrating.
I guess what your dream is the Clippers Celtics finals.
I don't know though, because that would kind of scare me.
Okay.
But I
The
just feel
Trailblazers Celtics finals.
I just feel bad, man, because it's just like, I feel bad for those guys. I feel like the NBA has been robbed, and it's just like we say, man, injuries are the worst, especially people who just are injury prone. It's just like, God, man, like, why? Why does that have to happen? But it is what it is,
Yeah.
man.
All right. I don't have anything else to say on the topic. I think we're about wrapped here with 5 minutes to spare.
Yeah, look at that. This was a nice short one, like we expected.
Which is short for us.
This is making me a lot more excited for the season to start up, though. I'll tell you that much.
Dude, it's coming. When are we gonna do the hockey one? And I'm gonna be like,
We can
I
do
don't
it.
know. I feel like the Leafs are gonna bridge that gap this year. Be like, but how many fights there's gonna be? Yeah.
I should. You know what would be funny is if I made that prediction on here, just like messing around, and it happened, and like it went viral, and they're like, "This guy knows everything about hockey." It's like, that's my
The
only
hockey
take.
guy.
That's my only take of all time.
All right, then I gotta. On. Brainstorm. The Jazz are winning the championship this year. You watch it. You
I
watch it.
want what you're smoking, man. But
Uh,
anyways, all right, yeah. So that's about it on this episode. Stay tuned for more. We're gonna have a lot more different things coming up. And yeah, that's pretch much it. We'll catch you
all
on
right.
the next
Hey
one.
guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe and do all that dumb stuff.
Yes, sir.